What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. This your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirski. Hello, somebody. All right, so man, this is crazy right here, bro. It says Brian McKnight rejected his dying son. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, but y'all get what I'm saying. Niko McKnight, shaking my head. R.I.P. Niko. Why is Brian so cold to his kids? Now, from what I gathered, bro, Brian said that his sons or his kids wouldn't listen to him as a father. But man, welcome to the party. Your kids is not going to listen to everything daddy says. They're just not. If you think, bro, if you think your kids is the only kids that don't listen, welcome aboard, my boy. Welcome. But I think it's very cold for his son to have cancer and him not reach out to him. For whatever the case may be, it was just downright cold, Brian. And you should be held accountable in the eyesight of God. Now, who am I to judge? I'm not a judge. But that's very, very cruel, bro. That's very, very cruel. There's nothing my kids could ever do to make me turn my back on them at this level. Now, I will give them hard love sometimes, tough love, so they can learn life. Yes, but not nothing as critical as cancer, though, bro. That's crazy. Spicy.
That the daughter's mother.
Hold on. Shout out to the Impressive channel as well.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive channel. The R&B singer Brian McKnight is under fire for rejecting his dying son. Unfortunately, one of his sons, Niko McKnight, passed away recently. He passed away from cancer. He was battling cancer for 2 years. And according to page 6, Brian McKnight did not once reach out to the family. He did not contact or see Niko at all.
Not once. 2 years. It's 365 days in a year. We all know that. But he didn't reach out not one time. That means not no card, not no phone call, not a message through another family member or nothing. Zero. Nothing at all, bro.
While he was suffering and dying. This is honestly just terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure some of y'all may have heard about Brian McKnight's feud with his own children. He has rejected his children. In his words, he claims that he stopped dealing with his children because of their behavior, and he didn't want to financially pay for his grown sons. He wanted his own sons to live on their own. So that's one of the reasons why he stopped dealing with his sons. Also, he stopped dealing with his daughters as well. And he claims that the daughter's mother kind of blocked contact. And he actually accused one of his daughters of having an incestuous relationship with her older cousin. And the daughter filed a lawsuit against him for defamation, which was settled. But Brian claims that these are some of the reasons why he doesn't deal with his children. And I believe he has like maybe 5 biological children. I know Brian McKnight Jr., who is the oldest. He has Niko, who just passed away, unfortunately. He has another one named Clyde McKnight, I believe, and a daughter named Brianna, who's the one who filed that lawsuit against him. And then I think he has another biological daughter, but he doesn't acknowledge these children. He only...
it has to be pretty bad. It has to be pretty bad for you to claim that your daughter is sleeping with her cousin. Now, from the looks of it, she's a very beautiful girl, young lady. I don't think she have a problem with getting guys. So she have options. I don't think she would waste her options on her own cousin. At least she don't look like it. You can't judge a book by its cover. But she don't look like it. But the thing about it is, for her to file a lawsuit against her dad and go through all that, it got to be something that's untruthful about that situation.
Acknowledges the children with his new wife, Leilani. He claims Leilani's son and his daughter as his own. He says his stepdaughter, Julia, is the perfect daughter he always wanted. He also says his stepson, Jack, is the real Brian McKnight Jr. in his hashtag.
What?
He also welcomed a new child with Leilani called Brian Jr. And a couple of weeks ago, when he was asked how many sons does he have, he says, I have 3 sons. Jack, Brian Jr., Kikoa Mato. I believe Kikoa was the infant that he and his wife lost. But
see, man, I hate this. I don't like ninjas like this, bro. I do not like ninjas like this ninja right here, bro. You not owning up to your blood biological kids, bro. What is wrong with you, Brian? Man, I ain't never thought you was like this. I probably ain't gonna never listen to no more Brian McKnight music, bro.
But these are the only sons he acknowledges. He acknowledges the ones that he has with his second wife, Leilani, but he doesn't acknowledge his other children. And when he was asked about his other children, he just acknowledged this comment saying that they come from evil families.
In order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of the evil and the negativity, even if that evil and negativity is related. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead, I post about the children with whom I do have relationships, with whom I am proud of, and about whom I want to share my pride in their accomplishments. I don't live in the past. Another thing a lot of people have been talking about is the lawsuit my adult daughter Brianna brought against me a few years ago. In 2020, my biological daughter Brianna sued me for defamation and breach of contract, and I agreed to pay her $318,000 with no admission of any wrongdoing whatsoever. She dismissed a $1 million case in exchange for payment of $318,000 with no admission that I did anything wrong and no requirement that I retract my statement or remove it from the internet. I did not defame her. I made no false statements. I made up no stories. I want to address the abandonment issue for the last time. I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual, and I changed my will the next day. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy.
Whew. I mean, what can you say? The man is cold. He is cold-hearted. And this is what Niko tweeted last year in regards to his relationship with his father. He said, when I was about to die in the hospital from complications from my cancer, I just wanted to bury the hatchet and hear him say he loves me. And he told me he couldn't arbitrarily tell me he loves me. Still cuts so deep. Sometimes I wonder if my dad's karma is my close proximity to death. Like maybe if I end up dying, it will release him from this grip of evil. If I could just have one more group hug between me, my brother, my mom, and my dad, I'd truly be ready. Every day I feel so embarrassed by how things went with our dad. When you're faced with a situation like mine, it quickly shows you what really matters, and families matter the most. I miss my family so much, everyone. He also said, we were bad children. Sure, yes, but my sisters have always deserved better. They don't deserve this outright disrespect. Hate us all day. You don't get to be a piece of ish forever and still skate by with all that we know. We saved that man from federal prison. That's all I'm going to say. But after all of this, I still love him so much because I know there's my dad in there somewhere. But he's a drone now. So effing sad. Miss you, Dad.
Wow.
Marcus Aurelius, Superman. This is...
Oh my God, bro. This is hard for me to get through this right here, bro. This is hard for me to get through this right here. Brian, you's a low down, dirty sap sucker, bro. Oh my God, bro. I have no words for you.
This is really sad. It's really heartbreaking. But, you know, thankfully, Niko was surrounded by all of his loved ones when he passed away. So that's a good thing. Even though Brian McKnight was not there and he did not reach out, he still was surrounded by people who absolutely loved him. And his uncle, Claude McKnight, who is Brian McKnight's brother, even gave him a tribute as well.
This morning I found out that my nephew, Niko McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. I'm just gonna be raw with how I'm feeling. Niko was one of those amazing kids who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. Apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Niko. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Niko. Uncle Claude.
So that's what his Uncle Claude had to say. And one thing I do respect, I respect that Niko was honest and he admitted that, you know, he wasn't the perfect child, but he still had unconditional love for his father. He still loved his father, but his father didn't love him. You know, Brian McKnight, I believe, has some screws loose. I think he's crazy. Like, he definitely gives strong narcissistic vibes. Like, he's constantly making posts to trigger his children, and I don't like it. But I do also think he harbors a lot of grudges, and maybe there were some things that he was hurt by that we don't really know of, but I think he harbors a lot of just deep-seated hurt that's kind of made him grow so cold to the point that he's not even human. Like, he can't even soften his heart enough to reach out to his dying son. He couldn't even make amends before his son passed, and that's just really terrible. It really is. So I hope he has a change of heart, honestly. I do hope that we hear a story of him at least reconciling with his other children, but the sad thing is I don't think he will ever do that, you know? And that's going to be his price to pay. And who knows, maybe the children that he only acknowledges now will probably reject him in the future. He doesn't know how that karma is going to swing back at him. So I think it would be in his best interest to at least make things right with his other children before it's too late. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like.
Oh my God, bro. Man, this is a hard one for me to finish. This is the hardest one. This is the hardest video I ever had to do, bro. To get through this one, it was very tough as a dad. I couldn't imagine how them kids may have felt. And for Niko to send those tweets out, he said, listen, I know we wasn't the best of the kids. He said, all I want to do before I leave this earth is get one more hug from my dad and my sisters and my mom and my brother. He also said, he said, my dad is a drone right now, but for some reason I still have that faith that my dad, the inner him, that Brian that we do know, is still there. It's still there. So he still had faith in his dad on some of his last words. Wow, that's deep.